All right, everyone, welcome back for the episode of Carnivore Trade. Today's Thursday, July 25th, 2024. If you've not done so already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. You guys got like 2 hours in the morning. Active Trader, we're absolutely knocking it out of the park here right now, which is our live day trading room. Again, 29 points and 50 points on separate legs here in ES today. Just absolutely awesome profits. I encourage everybody to join. Anyways, well, let's get into it here. So markets here, lots of volatility. So we had a big surge. I warned about this yesterday. I said, don't be short into the hole. And I said, if you are long, or excuse me, if you are short, make sure you're scaling out on the way down. And you can see we had a huge 100-point squeeze. If we go to, well, actually, yeah, you can see it here, 53.90 to 54.92. What did I tell you guys yesterday? I said I don't see us going much past where? 5,400. And we clipped it by 10 points. I also gave this out in the trading room. I said, SMH, if that gets to 231, look for a low, not just a low in the SMH, a low, a V shape in the entire market. Low of the day here, 230, spot 82. So we pierced 231, and that initiated a massive squeeze. Again, 100 points in the SPX, 500 in the NQ. Amazing moves here. So very good levels that we've hit. And we did get a good retrace. Another thing that I said in the afternoon around 1 o'clock, I did post this in tweet. Again, big move off the lows, 100 points here. And from here, it's going to get trickier. After the squeeze runs its course, we're going to go back into trap and shakeout mode, and that's exactly what we've been doing here. So they're not going to. I still think it's likely that a low is in, at least a local low. We do have PCE tomorrow, and if that's the case, a local low is in place. They're not just going to take us, straight up in a straight line. They're going to take people out. People who are too scared to buy the dip down here, we're probably chasing at the highs. That's why you get that fake, very good textbook fake breakout, by the way, intraday. Up move and then engulfing, good fake out. And then you've got bears here who are, if we start going down, they're going to start itching to get back in on the downside and chase the lows. So I wouldn't rule out anything tomorrow. Right now I'm in cash as far as active trader is concerned. And I wouldn't rule out even a spike of the low here, right? A lot of the time, when you get these, the first squeeze is kind of like the wrong one. Second mouse gets the cheese, that type of deal, where we get a spike down. Again, you got to get, if you really want to get bulls out, you can run a stop of the low, and you get some FOMO shorts to chase, and then that's when you get the real move. So again, we'll see what we get here, or we could just gap and go. It's certainly possible we could just gap and go. Where's the big line in the sand? It's real obvious, right? 5,500 was kind of my magnet or macro target here, at least for a squeeze over the next day or two. But right now, I think you get above 54.91, I think we can go through that pretty quickly. And the reason I say that is because this is clearly where the shorts put their flag in the ground, right? They came in, they shorted, and they pushed it down. So if we get back above there, I think we do go test higher prices. That does not mean that, again, that doesn't mean that the market's going to make new highs or anything. But, in the short term, I told you yesterday, 3 standard divs on the Qs. We went right into this. I gave you guys all these levels here too. Went right into that trend line on the triple Qs. ES, right into this trend line, right? 3 standard deviation from the 20 MA extended. You had to expect this type of price action, right? But very good volatility on the other side. And we're starting to uptick now a little bit here. But again, PCE, there will be more traps. Expect that. It's going to get trickier. And I said this a lot during April, but you can see this chop period. I said the market's going to go back up, but it's going to take as few people on board as possible, and that's why you get these big down moves. Remember the FOMC here? It was wild price action. Then they spiked the low the next day. They really tried to get as many people out as possible, and that's what markets do. So expect this type of price action tomorrow. We've got PCE, and again, I have never seen this before in my life, 15 years. But again, the Russell 2000, and I'll tell you, this is telling me not to get bearish here, and that's why I've still been kind of bull biased. But look at yesterday. This is going up, right? Gap down and rallying up. It did fade back by the end of the day, but as the Qs are absolutely, literally in crash mode. And again, this morning, same thing. Russell 2000, V-shape up, Qs in crash mode. These are reasons why I've been looking to buy the dip. And spiders, not a lot of volume, even with yesterday's sell. Same thing here today, not a lot of volume. And that's kind of kept me bullish. Another thing, I mean, I think they just spammed the recession. They spammed the yield curve stuff to take everybody's money. Look at the transports here. Does this look like recession to you? Massive move here. 2% gain, wiped out the entire sell-off. Regional banks, they'll keep going higher until these bums, these chumps, stop trying to hit home runs. And what do I mean by hit home runs? Every asshole out there has got to be the guy who calls the recession and goes all in short, and they try to short these sectors that are going to do poorly in a recession, and they're going to get killed over and over and over again until they stop doing that or they run out of money. KRE up, commercial real estate green, XHB, bull flag, right? So that's kind of what I'm seeing here. And we had to expect a tech bounce. I told you guys, watch the semis. It was a semi-led rally. So when the semis bounce, the market will bounce. I gave out a picture perfect level. 2 members here. It hit it perfectly, and it's worked out very well. Beautiful trend line hit. And the SMH is bouncing. So we'll leave it at that for now. Good bounce here. Bears still have plenty of room for a lower high if they want to. So, I mean, it's not as if we can't, put in lower highs. I'm not saying that, we're going to go up to 5,700, although that's possible. I'm hearing a lot of people talk about, this is going to be a lower high, short the rip. If everybody thinks that, then maybe that's not what happens. But in the near term, I do think we will get back to, I think we can at least get up into this gap kind of area. If we fill the gap, I'd definitely be a little bit more bullish. If we don't fill the gap, I think bears are in much more control. But bare minimum, I think we'll test 55. So we'll see what we get there. Again, PCE tomorrow, and then we got the Fed next week. Again, I wouldn't be surprised to see, unless we have like a gap and go tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of chop because we're going to have the Fed. So let's say tomorrow we have indecision again. Then you got Monday, Tuesday. All right, who cares? FOMC is Wednesday, so nobody's going to take big positional bets unless they like leak something. So I think we could be in for some grind here, kind of like what we saw in early April. That said, technically, as of today's close, I do have a buy signal on SPY. So that's just a daily chart signal. It doesn't mean we're going to all-time highs, but it's the same signal that I had before the 15% rally in IWM. So do whatever you want with that. I don't think we're going to have a 50% move, but it's the same type of setup. So in any case, triple Qs here, again, picture perfect. Oh, it's just astrology for men, but, it just goes right to the trend line, right to the 100 MA, and it bounces perfectly. So very nice move there. IWM, again, continues to hold up. And, I want to show you this. This did a similar thing, and here's the bull case. Here's the big bull case. Remember back in 2020 where the market really did, like everybody was complaining like they are now about how it was kind of like a tech-led rally and the S&P was, you can see how much the S&P was outperforming. Yeah, there, if I go like that. You can see how much the S&P was outperforming the small caps during this area. It's very reminiscent of what we're in now. But then during that August fall correction, IWM made higher highs and higher lows, whereas the spiders made the lower high and then finally a higher low. Rotation's painful. It can be, right? And then after that, look what happened with the Russell. It had a huge, breakout. Some people might not want to hear this, but I'm just going off the charts. I don't really care if it happens or not, but you have to respect this possibility. If this works off that condition enough, this can go to all-time highs. I mean, that's the bull case here. So you got to respect that. I don't want to hear about, Aaron, we're going to a recession. I don't care about recession. Charts don't care about recession. Price action's the only thing that matters, right? If everybody thinks we're going into a recession and everybody's positioned that way, then we'll just go higher. So just be aware of that. I'm not saying that's what happens, but that's the bull case here. So diamond here, again, up just about 1% of the day, holding the 20 MA. Coming from an extended place first hit of the 20 usually is going to be defended, and it did. And it's a whole round number, 440K Dow. Makes sense. SMH here, it is lower, obviously, but I mean, very good V shape. Very good V shape. And it might even close green here. Doing the video a little on the early side here. So we got members video at 405. There's the socks for those of you who care. I mean, you can't draw it up any better than this. 618 trend line. Yeah, this is why you don't short in the hole. That's why I said yesterday, look for dips to buy. Don't be looking to short. IGV very strong here. ServiceNow smashing earnings, all-time high, new all-time closing high. So CrowdStrike crapping the bed, but ServiceNow taking over, and IGV is holding up. IGV is definitely a strong sector, and again, this is something that, you know, if we get enough consolidation, it can go higher. So cloud's still pretty strong. We talked about the transports, again, holding the trend line, big outside move, wiped out the last 2 days of selling. Very good action there. Let's get over to rates here. So the 2-year yield was up again. And yeah, kind of just reversing the narrative from yesterday. I think they just pumped all that crap on TV to get people to dump their shares. That's my opinion. And you see the yield curve coming back down again already. So again, these guys are trying to swing for the fences. I've got to be the genius that called the recession. Well, no, you're going to be the genius that lost all his money. So I don't think long-term rates are going down, but we'll see. XHB here up 2.35. Again, tight bull flag. 20 moving average catches up. It's going higher. VNQ, again, still holding up. On the weaker side now in the afternoon, but it was up a lot more earlier. Yeah, pretty good dump out there in the afternoon for that, but you know, it's coming off the lows here. This is still consolidation too, though. No problems there. Again, just got extended. Banks holding up again as well. Strong all day long. The XLF was not red at one point today. And that's what the market that was, Qs were down 7% in 11 trading days. This was never down. Well, at least today anyway. XLF still strong. KRE, I mean, you know, I already talked about that. What can you say? Yeah, KBE, and we got broker dealers. Oh, new all-time high. Oil, very volatile session. Pretty good gap down on the COMEX. New low. I love when they do stuff like this. I mean, some people hate it, but I like it. Is just spike the low, get everyone to stop out, do it again, and then just rip it back up. So those are the things I look for, especially in ES. A lot of people don't like trading ES because of that. I love it because I hunt those setups, honestly. But very good move there in oil, up 1%. It's trying for a higher low. I was really hoping it would get down to the 618. I did play the 50% fib in the trading room the other day. We made some money on it. I was really hoping it would get down to 75.50. Just didn't quite get there. I probably wouldn't try it now, but yeah, good bid. We'll leave it alone for now. Again, oil is just in a range. XLE, very good move, up 2%. Again, working on higher lows here. This could turn into a buy signal. This is getting interesting now, especially since I really like the monthly. I know it's messy here, but you can see this. This is bullish, right? Big inside bar, pull back here, narrow body candles. This is strong. So XLE, it's definitely starting to pique my interest a little bit here. XOP, same kind of look, although it's a little bit softer. And the OIH with a big outside move up 3.5. That was one of the big winners today. What can you say? OIH, and you guys know I love the monthly there too. But energy's definitely, I actually saw a chart. Let me just pull it up, because I know a lot of you guys are like energy sector. Yeah. Energy positioning back to, essentially back to max short here. So I don't know if we're looking for a squeeze sector, catch up sector. Definitely catching my eye, and the charts are starting to confirm that. So starting to get interesting. All right, CCJ down 4%. So a little bit of damage there. That head and shoulders is starting to play out. I didn't think it would. I thought it would fail, but it's starting to play out. And you can see that's got a little ways to go if that does. It still has weekly bull inside consolidation though, as long as it's above this white line. But that's the level. NM, again, lower lows, Looks like an M top. I would be careful with uranium, with URNM here, and then NJ also in a lot of trouble. It's got to rally huge tomorrow in order to save that. Nat gas, hit down again, no surprise. This rolls to U pretty soon. That has a slight higher low. I don't have any level on this right now. The demise of the dollar greatly exaggerated. And just as all those articles were coming out about how the yen carry trade was going to blow the market up, this is why we use charts, right? Pivot high, pivot low, 200 MA. Thanks for the money, pretty much, right? I mean, and just as soon as everybody was panicking, we went right back up. Again, that doesn't mean it can't go back. You can go down eventually, but there's levels. There's levels to this. So dollar index here, holding up, spike of the low. You can make a case it's trying to put in bull consolidation. Still got some resistance up here at like 104.85 to 105 though. So I think this is just still coiling for a big move later this year. Gold down 2%, a little over 2%. This is still doing backing filling. Get a lot of questions about gold lately and silver. I think they need a little bit more time on the clock. It's not so much about price. It's more about time here with these. Silver testing 28 now. I talked about that level. It is testing. It's trying to hold. You went right to this little breakout, so it could get a bounce here. Again, I still think it's a time factor with this. But definitely backing off. Platinum backing off too, and palladium as well. Copper, I'm a little shaking my fist here because they got this down to the level last night. We were actually talking about it in one of the chats last night, and it was down here at 4:05. And I said if it wasn't 11:30 p.m., I would probably buy this right now. But I just don't want to buy during that low liquidity. But it worked out. So we held the 200. I don't know if I would do it now. Sometimes these things can hit the 200, then spike down. We'll see what it does here. It's definitely attractive. I don't think there's much downside in the near term. I'll say that. Resistance is going to be around 425 to 430. We'll see what it does here. I did not get it. I would have loved it if it was down where it was last night. This morning, I probably would have bought it. But again, it's sometimes the way it goes. We'll see what it does here. There's still a chance it could firm up or the pattern could change and give us an entry. But I just avoided it for now. And Bitcoin backing off again. We knew that was going to happen again. So just doing some routine backing and filling, but it came off the lows pretty nicely. Actually, let's take a look at the intraday. Yeah, flushed when everything else did, and it came right back up. So no real problems here. It's just doing some digestion. ETH definitely came in. This is definitely a sell the news. I will be bear on ETH right now, though, because you have we're closing below that green bar. So that's a daily sell signal on ETH. So just be aware of that. But Bitcoin's fine. So they got everybody hyped up on that ETF and then dumped it in. So, all right, markets here holding up right now. We should be, my guess is we're going to close above 55.25. This has been a magnet all day long. This level, if I can find it here. There we go. And they never, one thing I noticed about GEX too is even when we were up at 54, whatever it was, 54.90, they never shrunk that level. This was still the largest leg all day long. A lot of the time when that happens, they want to revisit it. And I think that's partly why we came back down today. But either way, that level's a magnet right now. I don't think we're going to go too much farther from here, even with this close here. I still have a buy signal on SPX SPY daily chart. So again, I'm still favoring buyers here in the short term. That doesn't mean bears can't force a lower high and push us down at some point, but I still think this bounce has more to go. It's not necessarily going to go in a straight line though. PCE tomorrow, expect traps, expect chop, expect spice, stop runs, stuff like that. I'm not saying we can't gap and go. It could happen, but a lot of the time when you get these these dips here, they want to get people out before they take it up. So just be aware of that. But anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. You guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I will see you guys all tomorrow.